Hello, and welcome back to 4th IB's coverage of Friday Night Fights with myself, Morgan, Barton, and Flockton joining me here at the desk. During that last round, we did have a subscription from Hazabaza51, so thank you very much for subscribing. Do appreciate that a lot. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to keep providing you with the killer content as we have been in the last two rounds. So we'll do a quick catch-up of what the last two rounds were. So the first round, Barton, if you want to give a quick summary of what that was all about.
First round. We saw, a attack versus defense mindset. Obviously, what you have is what I think was destroy, where the defending team had to defend caches of weapons. The attacking team needed to blow up these caches to win. What we saw was a textbook PvE mindset being used by the attackers, and that doesn't really translate into the best case scenario in a PvP environment, right? So what we saw was them approaching on foot, um, exposing their attack arc very early on, and then just getting caught in the defense in depth properly set up by Op4. Op4 set up a perfect defense, and Bluefoot just fell into that trap and really couldn't adapt to it in any form because their recce wasn't there, everything wasn't there. So all in all, it was quite a comfortable win for the defending team Op4 on our first round.
Yeah, I think so. And before I get Flockton's breakdown of the second round, Quickie has just redeemed a hydrate for 250 points. So thank you very much, Quickie.
I forgot to take the label off again.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Quickie. Yeah, Barton broken down what happened in the first round quite nicely. So Flockton, for anybody who missed it, how did the second round go
down? Sorry. Round two. It could have went either way. Very, very well fought from the blue side in order to bring that 4-3 advantage to a win. Rush game mode, it's always the same. You know, it's played just like back in the Battlefield days. You know, yeah, you really you don't know which way it's going to go. Luckily, Blue 4 had the better side. Didn't have the better vehicles, which is strange. You know, so yeah, very well played from Blue 4.
Yeah, and so a Blue 4 victory in the second round there, just squeezing it out at the end. There were some crazy plays all over the place with everybody trying to outflank everybody else, which was quite impressive to see. Voika with his hero plays at the very start, so heroic that he was revived later on and came back as a zombie creeping around the battlefield to eat his victims or something like that. And yeah, at the end, I think it came down to just that slight bit of planning from Blue 4. Easton, I assume, who was the company IC, calling to fall back to Terminal 3 and just get set up around there for that last ditch defense, which is exactly what they did, and yeah, saving the day there. All right, so coming up shortly, we do have the third round for you here tonight, which will be the final round as well. Do we have ideas of what that round will be, or is that not something we have yet?
Unsure. They usually like doing neutral sector on that final round, don't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if it is neutral sector, just because we have technical issues with my stream currently, it is what it is. So we don't really know. So it's just guess. Neutral sector, rush B. It's what they usually do at the end of each night. As every time I've been on, they've always ended with a neutral sector cat thing. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. So
one
if
thing,
it is, go for it.
Sorry, I was just going to say one thing I'd like to bring up from the last round. Can we talk about that AT shot, please? Like, that's still... I'm still trying to figure that out.
Sure, it was an AT shot, not an AA shot.
Exactly. Like, get that guy signed up to the 4IB AT course.
Yeah, I don't actually think thinking about it now, he was aiming for the people at the front. I think he was probably aiming for the terminal all the way at the back, and he
Mm.
just decided, I wonder if I can blow it up from here. Unfortunately, he couldn't, but he tried to.
It's
And
just
you know,
I'm probably gonna lose sleep over that tonight. Like
it was an ambitious move. He had
it
his
really
thought
was.
process, and if it would have worked, if he'd have looked up maybe about 25 more degrees, then maybe it would have been close, but
But
it wasn't.
it
So
did. It
it went nowhere near, just yeah, sailed on by. The thought was
Here,
there though, just his execution well off.
here's what you could have won.
Exactly. Yeah. And that would have been the turning play. If he'd have hit that and the rest of the game went out almost exactly how it did, then yeah, Op 4 likely could have won it.
Could have been a different
Unfortunately,
story.
unfortunately he didn't. And yeah, we leave ends it with Blue 4 having their victory, which to their to their credit, they definitely earned. They did outplay towards the end. Uh,
100%.
Op 4 did have a plan going into it, but Blue 4 were able to understand what the plan was likely going to be, set up that defensive depth that we always talk so much about, and getting off the early reconnaissance to understand how many forces are pushing you on one direction, and then you can assume where the rest of them are. If you know they're not here, then they're going to be elsewhere, and you can know where you guys are. So you can sort of start to narrow it down as to where they're going to be pushing from next. One thing I do want to ask about Barton will be the BTRs that were pushing through the middle, how they
Mm.
could have been used potentially to just be used as a brute force method of just pushing through, but for some reason they decided that they didn't want to do that and started using it to be a bit more supportive for the infantry. Do you think that was the right play, or do you think they should have used their BTRs a bit differently?
I think they were hesitating and unsure how to use them because they didn't do either. When you got two doctrines, all right? You got supporting of infantry and you got breakthrough, right? Pretty much. So supporting infantry you usually spread them around the infantry line and come up with the infantry. You don't have them all centralized on only one part of the infantry line. That's what you do when you're about to lead a breakthrough, and that means the vehicles go off themselves and break through frontline positions. All right, and what they were doing is they were using them in a supporting role but gathered together, so their effectiveness was lopsided. And what we saw on round two was you saw a northern group and a southern group. Northern group got held up by Foiker alone for just shooting that, which bogged them down. And then on the southern group, they came forward because of these vehicles. They were a lot more forward than the northern group, right? But then they became isolated and targeted, and they just lost vehicle after vehicle. Then they decided to rush in and try to take Terminal 2, which was arguably a very daring play. They lost their vehicles and didn't really work too well. They should have tried to lock it down, then allow the infantry to slam in. Allow the infantry to slam in the other vehicles, not the BTRs. I think that would have been a little bit of a better play. But all in all, the devious plays from those two rounds, the first one was a high IQ move by Stark playing dead. I'm not too sure if anyone else saw that. That was brilliant. He still died, but it was fun while it lasted. Second round, best play. Best play was Foy killing all those people, but I think the most valuable play was definitely on the Op 4 team. That Brocken man got 7 kills. Really hurt quite a lot of Op 4's positioning, especially Blue 4's positioning to the north. Really hurt them.
Yeah.
So he kind of equalized it just with his, coming in and killing people by himself. So he did very well there. Back to you.
And he's a name that we hear about a couple of times towards the end of games. So he's typically one of those survivors who gets through things and is always there to just pick things up at the end. I guess he's kind of like the sort of clutch player. He's always so level headed, and he's definitely experienced. We see him in these so often that he is that guy that he's always going to have it down to the last moment. He's got his idea of how he wants to play the game, and I think that's what a lot of people do struggle with is their own identity of how they're going to be playing it when they're in that situation. He's obviously been in that situation so many times that he was able to understand what he needed to do and how he needed to approach it. Whereas we saw it with some other people. I'm just going to unfortunately pick on Vic because he was the last guy left. He had his mindset of I know what I need to do. I need to get in there and attack the terminal. But his approach to it, uh, it didn't seem very fluid in the same way that Broken's did. Whereas he understood how he should move about, how he should try and go for the thing. I think that may have been the problem. I think if Brocken were by himself on that push up, he probably would have been more successful than had he been with all the others. I think being with the others gave him that sort of comfort in complacency of having more people around me. If I go down, they'll be able to pick up from where I was, and I'll be able to pick up from them and like avenge them if they go down. Instead of thinking about it like, okay, we all need to still think of this as it's a 1v X situation. I need to think about how I can outplay that instead of trying to form a makeshift team very quickly with whatever communications they were able to get very quickly towards the end. Yeah, I think they were just unable to string it together enough. I think if it had been a more cohesive unit. Now I don't know these guys. Maybe they all are from the same unit, in which case my points there were just off. But if there was some of the 4IB guys who were the last survivors, I do feel that they probably would have more cohesion together when they try and perform an attack on an area like that. They would understand sort of what to do together and how to all attack at the same time to get the objective completed. But then again, we don't know what intel Opfor had on the area. Maybe they assumed that everyone else was dead and they just had to go and get the last plant off. Or they could have assumed there were a lot more people, or maybe the timer was, in the seconds, and they were like, "We just need to get in here now, or we'll never get it done." But I think it was just a mentality thing at the end there. I think they sort of got in over their heads. They're like, "Oh shit, we can do this," and unfortunately, they weren't able to get it done. But they did their best, and it was very close towards the end. And getting that second terminal, I think, was very impressive in and by itself. I'll have to offer take my hat off to them there. The Op 4 guys taking back that second terminal. I'd already called it way before. I thought it was done, but they were able to prove me wrong. So yeah, fair plays to them.
I did like the satchel guy blowing himself up though.
Yeah, the satchel guy. If he'd have been able to get that a little bit more inwards, he probably could have taken out the MRAP, and who knows what could have gone down then. Yeah, his play again. Another play he had where he had it in his mind what he wanted to do. He closed his eyes. He could envision what it was exactly that he wanted to do, and it just didn't go at
Plan
all how he was
versus
hoping.
execution.
Exactly. Yeah. Next time though, he'll be like, "Oh, I've been in this place before. I know exactly what went wrong last time. I know how to overcome that." So hopefully, if he's ever in a situation like that again, no problems. He's got it sorted.
I'm so hoping that he makes the same mistake.
Poor guy.
That's just me though. Like I like seeing people make the same mistakes. It's hilarious. But I will have to go back into the VOD at some point to check out this stark devious move. I missed that. And it sounds like it was exciting.
It was exciting. He was just hiding amongst a load of bodies, but he still died anyways because he had to med himself eventually. It was like,
Was it like
that,
the mission from Call of Duty World at War? You know,
something like
where
that. Oh yeah,
he's
you hide
hiding
it.
in
Yeah.
the fountain with the dead bodies.
Yeah, he was hiding with dead bodies, but eventually
Yeah.
he got caught out.
Damn.
Yeah, it was impressive. I wasn't able to see it quite so much at that point, but I saw bits of it as it was going along. Some technical issues behind the scenes, but yeah, it looked like he was taking some fire with his fire team and just hits the deck, and then the guy who was firing on them just never mind. I think he still kept looking in that direction as there was a bit of an assault coming in, almost trench warfare. It was pretty messy that first round, but the objectives from the Op 4 in the first round, the defenders, they definitely had it down. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. Whoever their commander was, their company IC, he was in the heads of the enemies from pretty much the start. As soon as contact came in, granted it took a while, but as soon as contact came in, Op 4, I think, were probably feeling pretty comfortable the whole time. They knew exactly what they wanted to do, and they had Blue 4 exactly where they wanted them. They'd sort of funneled them into a specific road, saying, "You can have this road, and oh, don't take this road from us because that's really bad." And then Blue 4 funnel into it, and that was it. Op 4 just kept them there the rest of the game.
That's what happens, though, isn't it?
Right then, we're loading into next round.
Okay, and is this a neutral sector round?
No, it's not. It is destroy again. Same as well as the previous round was.
I thought the last round was Rush.
Oh, well, one of the ones. So the first round, the first round. That was destroy, I think. Yeah, that's what it's called. So yeah.
Barton, you know I love you, mate.
Yeah. So I think stream's up. Right, 3 minutes to set up. Looking at the terrain, it is again another narrow play. Independent forces attacking. We have blue 4 forces defending. Is again pretty much similar to what we was last time, but instead of rush, terminal to terminal, this is non-sequentious, and they can just rush. I think it's only one. Yeah, it's only one actual cache. So they need to get in, and they can even fire from range if they get the right angle. So, yeah, I think. Oh, they've got a very interesting bit of content here. This has got a camera on it as well. Hopefully they use that this time. Looking at green for. We have, just a range of people all waiting, but again, they're forming another convoy.
Oh, we know how they do love their convoys.
They do like their convoys, don't they?
Yeah, it's PvP. Bring out the convoy, even though you don't really get any advantage by traveling in a convoy when it's in the
Not
PvP
at all,
situation.
yeah. So I think we're back in, we're back up. Looks like, yep. Oh no, there's 2 caches. There's one further back as well. So Blue 4 will be looking. Yeah, they're defending both sites. So, yep. Correct thing to do. Defend both sites here. That's exactly what you want to be doing. I do believe Independent will have a vehicle advantage of such. Let's see, where are our boys? Where do you think our boys are at? Well, they're on the attacking team.
Yeah,
on the attacking
just seen
team.
them.
Right.
Oh.
Out to you, Flockton. What, as the attacking team mindset, right? What do you think they're going to be doing here?
You're looking at my favourite bit of kit.
Yeah.
You've just literally been looking at my favourite bit of kit. That helicopter.
Oh. Fair enough.
Is
It's
it
got
weaponized?
men in it. Yeah, it's got men in it as well.
Yeah. So, as I always say with rounds like this, that helicopter is priceless to them. Because what they can do is they can get guys behind the enemy straight away.
Yeah.
That can be a defining moment. Create that distraction. Hey, as far as they're concerned, the helicopter's just looking around.
Okay.
And then it's going to be behind enemy lines, on the ground, unload a full helicopter full of troops. That is going to cause some damage.
And the helicopter can fly completely out of the area and then come back in.
Yeah.
The dismounts have to stay within the area, but the helicopter can fly outside this area. Very confusing play. They've got such a large bank of vehicles, Independent. Why aren't they using every single one of them? Because if you use the engine block, all of them can be mobile cover. Every single one of them. So you could use them as cover positions. What you see on, Alsis life servers and life servers in general, they use their vehicles as mobile cover to maneuver around.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they selected a small range of vehicles and then trying to form a convoy. Hopefully they're not doing convoy drills. That'd be a big shame. But it does look like... Oh, are they? Do you think they're doing convoy drills here, guys?
I don't think so.
Nah, it doesn't look like
they're
it.
just going for it.
Yeah.
The rough direction's the same, but I
Yeah.
think they're kind of just going for it. And maybe maybe a bit too going for it with some of them. Some close
So
calls, but yeah,
got
they're all making their move up. So
a
as
heavy
we
amount of
are,
fog, very heavy amount of fog.
yeah, that's
Uh,
true.
Blue 4 coming out. Looks like our boys will get the first bit of contact.
I'll let
Be
you
good to see.
guys finish the second word, but it looks a bit like a cluster at the minute. So we'll just have to see where it goes from there.
Yeah, we've got the blue fours X-ray element trying to flank all the way around and do the ultimate pincer, I guess, just by hanging around the back and following people in. With the thick fog, it kind of plays into its advantage, as it can kind of just sneak by and no one's really going to see him because it's too far away. But maybe Rudd will have seen that. No, I don't think so. The fog is
Nah,
far too thick
thick,
across that.
way too
So,
thick fog.
so yeah, Blue 4 are now just waiting for the call of, oh, we've seen some guys in this area, and then they have to go check it out, I expect, and see how it goes from there. But how do we think? Well, we kind of have seen quite a bit from independents at this point, but how do we think their attack will try and unfold to basically secure this away, Barton?
Well, it looks like Greenfall is just going to be rushing in, trying to get into these ditches here, which is a very good move. Using the natural terrain to your advantage, you've got a lot of defense here. I think Greenfall somewhat read this, and that's why they set up defenses along this area. But they do have a good rush coming in. The helicopter's actually making landing, and they waited till they dismounted the helicopter before engaging. And now you just got an entire section caught in massive. Oh my goodness!
Wow.
That's devastating.
That's a
Talk about a
significant.
massacre.
That's brutal. It's Brocken again. Broken's done it again. He's fucking murdering them. Look at this. Oh no. Oh. And then they've also got another position over here, also engaging. That is a massacre, if ever there was one. You got Olus getting friendly fired by his own men because that killed him. You got Sardine, the mighty Sardine, coming in for another bit of a kill. But all in all, that's going well. Looking at elsewhere on the map, you got the
No sarcasm intended there. That's going well.
you got the northern group here, the X-ray just looking down on 4IB's lot just to the north. You got, as we predicted, that Greenfall is going to be using this natural terrain to push up. I believe Blue4, as soon as they realise they're along that, can just fire along that straight line.
Yeah,
they spot
that weapon system's it's laser focused on that ditch. I'm not gonna lie, guys. It's looking bad so far.
Mighty Sardine coming in to, have a bit of fun. He's likely to get friendly fired here.
Do what you used to do in the days of the old 360. Lie behind someone, send them a message behind you, and then knife them.
What?
That was Jurassic Park, Barton. I don't know what you were going for, but that was the Jurassic Park theme tune, right?
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah.
Another kill. And then he's just gone into a place where his friend just died. So everything going well there. Looks like they're starting to light everything up. BTR's making a push and Humvee's making a push. Bringing down fire onto the point itself. They've been spotted. Green4 just steps on a trap laid by Blue4. And that's massacred 3 of them right there. That is brutal.
Oh my god.
So yeah, this group has just died. It was a very way we were able to spot it out, knowing that we were going to take it. Just as a defender, looking at the ground, you know that would happen as well. So yeah, very, very good planning, very good execution by them. Looks like another group has come to the north, to the south now. Not too sure what these guys are doing, but now they're pinned down as well. They look like they've made a rush here. They've even taken casualties. So the south isn't going too well for Green 4. You've got that Blue 4 helicopter still flying over, providing useful information for the guys on the ground. Blue 4 just have to hold their lines and fight. They are winning every engagement.
winning them pretty hard as well. They've taken very few casualties, I think, at this point, and every engagement, it just... I don't even think it's Bluefall who have been playing exceptionally well either. I think the majority of it has been Greenfall mistakes, which has been causing this. Bluefall obviously capitalizing on these mistakes and taking advantage where they can, but I think it's Greenfall's decision making that's really let them down here.
As always, blame the command element.
So you have one Gleeful pushing out, trying to get some easy kills here.
I guess that's something that Greenfall can potentially use to their advantage. If Bluefall are trying to push out and take up some easy kills, they could just play it a bit passively and pick up the people who, you know, are trying to play out and be a bit impatient with it, which I think has just happened there with Olaf picking up a kill. But
Vic just causing more and more problems here. Very good. Bluefall holding their positions very well. This position here looks very strong.
Yeah.
I just said that too early again. Something blew up.
How?
I don't know. Looks like they managed to. I actually don't know.
I don't know. How has that happened?
Maybe they were building something and accidentally blew it up. Probably. It's just well done.
Can
so
we
that
just call
happened.
it an armorism?
Yeah, they lost that. The engagements here again. Even though Greenfall started off with a numbers advantage, every engagement they are in now, they are always on a disadvantage, which is what we call defeat in detail. Small force defeating a larger force in detail. You got more Bluefall pushing up here, wiping out whatever remains of Greenfall's element. BTR going up over here as well, so that's gone. So the AT crews from Bluefall making very good work here, clearing up nearly all of Greenfall's fighting potential.
Looks like Stark's under a lot of fire there as well.
Exactly. We've got a lot of problems coming around.
It's just been chaos pretty much from from the get-go, which is what we like to see. Chaos bringing content, and there's definitely been no shortage of that here. I've still no idea how those Bluefall guys have managed to box themselves in and then blow up half their vehicles. It's quite impressive.
Now we're seeing the first engagement going in Greenfall's favour. We do have these Bluefall men have been kind of caught out of position because they thought it was an inferior force they were fighting. Now they're in a position where they're outnumbered and they should be looking to withdraw or at least try to get some easy trades in. That's the best they can do in this situation. So now they're withdrawing, grenades and run, pretty much.
So I know I said earlier that things can change in an instant, but I'm happy to say this is a Bluefall.
Looking onto the table, you got every engagement they've really been in. Greenfall has kind of lost it every single time. You even got a Bluefall numbers advantage now, and not one cache has been taken. All the attack venues are highly predictable, and Bluefall's done a very good job in actually making good defenses. Not as best, not as good as round one. Round one's defenses were really, really good. Looks like another explosive charge goes off prematurely. So I don't think that's killed anyone from Greenfall. Definitely scared them, but not killed them. Dust seems to be taking that. I think Bluefall, I believe that they killed someone there, and at least injured. Now Dust is just charging across, looking for a kill. And he goes down. He's actually... Yeah, it's good. Bluefall again winning that engagement. You got our 4IB guys getting caught out of position and hurt here. Not too sure how well they are doing. You got 4IB Foyka. Foyka's still alive. Go on, Foyka.
Yeah, I think the last time we've seen Foyka was actually naked. So...
Yeah, last week. Come on, Foyka, you got this. But as you can see, Bluefall hasn't really given up any major position and has caused a significant amount of casualties.
Yeah, they've pretty much just held strong this entire time. I can't really see how the Independents can get through at this point. The defenses seem to be really strong. I think they just have to probably play to the advantage of the fog and trying to also be a bit unpredictable and try and hope that the... Oh, no.
Yeah, Rudd just got demolished.
Run! Run, Boyka!
Now, yeah, it's getting very difficult here for the independents. They just need to hope against hope that they can try and bait people out into being impatient.
Yeah.
I don't think they can win this conventionally at this point. It's over pretty soon, I expect. It's been
So it looks like Greenford
catastrophic.
trying to avenge the death of their comrade here. They're just going to see a field of dead green. Stressful to see. But it looks like Saltazar and Broken are going to be caught out of position here, spotted and then executed with no mercy.
Potentially. I mean, maybe they'll, on the off chance, just turn around and spot something. I think
Looks like they're probably or above the fog level. I think Saltazar must have spotted them coming from this direction. The helicopter must have
spotted them.
Oh, there you go. Saltazar executed with no mercy. But now they've got the problem here. You've got a very strong firing position, just engaging, hopefully getting some lucky shots in. But now they're just pinned down behind the same house, which is great. All right, that's going well. Where else are we going? You got a blue 4 vehicle coming in, charging a stone wall and failing. What else have we got?
Oh.
They got Dryden getting shot right in the back of the head.
That's because he's too used to being up in the air, man.
Yeah, you got people crawling through the grass here. The rest of the 4IB.
What used to be Q-Coy?
Used to be Q-Coy. Oh, Q-Coy. Miss them dearly.
Mate, they've been gone a week.
I know, I still miss them though.
So what's the play here, Barton, from Independence? How do they overturn this at this point?
What they do is they go back to the start, realise they have a bunch of vehicles and should use them, not 5 of them. Look at the bank of vehicles Independent were given at the very start, which is over here. A massive bank of vehicles somewhere around here. They just didn't use a single... They used some of them, but they didn't use all the ones they were given. Like, look how many. There's a reason why the person making this map is giving them that many vehicles.
Yeah.
And it's because what they need to do here is have multiple different ambushes and approach. And they should... It's unconventional. It's not PvE. It's unconventional. You charge in, you slam vehicles into here, close quarters fighting, and you slam vehicles into here. You literally crash them in. Like, get them in and get inside a building as fast as possible. Because then you can start fighting from those buildings. That's what you do. And because you only have 1 or 2... Oh, goodbye, helicopter. He's landed it. Oh, spoke too soon again. He's fine.
Oh, wow.
So you got one guy stuck on top. The other guy going to get massacred. Oh, goodness me. So they're doing great. But yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to bring in vehicles, get in close. And even if you do get a vehicle taken out, right, that's 1 or 2 people because you spread your forces so wide. And just by doing that, you can really, really hurt them. Looks like Blue 4 having some issues with this area here. They've lost quite a lot of their garrison. They've lost nearly half of the garrison men have been lost here. Let's see how well Green 4 are doing in response. Trying to boost each other onto the roof, which is an interesting play. Definitely interesting. But yeah, again, that's just they're caught out of position. They're not doing too well. You got Blue 4 massacring the people from the helicopter. But that's what they're supposed to do. Literally slam into the ground of anything. Just get in and get into the area. But sadly, they rushed, but they didn't rush into the building. They rushed just along this wall, which is more vulnerable than actually being inside the building. So that's what they really need to do. It's not really a PvE environment in this map. It's the reason you've been given a load of vehicles is to use them in a PvP setting, and that's why it hasn't really gone too well.
Yeah.
So for me, right now, Green 4 or Independence, what they need to do is they need to park their asses on the ground, put their heads between their legs, and kiss their asses goodbye.
Yeah.
Like
It's pretty much done, isn't it?
they're not gaining any ground. Again, that momentum stopped. You know, Blue 4 have done very well to do that. They have just stopped them in their tracks. Which I'm gonna be brutally honest with you guys. Look, they're standing about chatting. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on. The Blue 4, they're not even breaking a sweat right now. They're probably talking about what pub they're going to tomorrow. Do you know what I mean?
You
Like,
just have the commanders sitting around with their weapons on their back.
exactly.
Right, you've got
It's-
Greenfall. Oh, sorry to interrupt you, my friend.
No, that's fine.
You've got Greenfall starting to push across the open air, but they've been caught out. It's almost as if they have a bank of vehicles that were hidden back here that could be used to cover the ground quickly. But no, so they've gone through the field. One's been caught out, but the rest have gotten into an area. So now they're finally getting in. Rory's finally getting to the building to fight from this, what you're supposed to be doing. Fighting from this building, you can catch out these guys in the open here. Very, very good.
Personally, I think it's too little, too late.
Yeah, it's all relevant, let's be honest here.
They're
It's not
massively outnumbered now.
great AT shot coming in, hitting that Humvee, but the Humvee's still fine, I think. The guy's climbed on top of a roof. Now it's highly exposed, which is bobbing and weaving. Look at this. Literally dancing around the bullets. Doesn't even hit. Oh! It's just, oh, there we
Dip,
finally
dive,
goes
and
down.
dodge.
Just get a wrench out.
Thinks
You got
he's
SWAT
Neo.
down. He's unsure what to do with this castle that's been made in front of him.
Attacking.
So, shade quite a bit. Right, we didn't see that.
I'm sorry to throw shade at these guys, but like, are they even attempting? Like, what's going on?
Some unfortunate shots there.
We've had two very good rounds, and then
Right, we've got a stealth up here now. But knowing them, they're bringing up a vehicle with them. And off on cue! It's the vehicle! I'm sorry! Oh, why?
oh my god.
Oh, for fuck's sake. So you got the vehicle ringing everyone's eyes in the direction, and then they've also spotted the infantry as well.
The thing is, I
Fuck,
don't
it's
think
still
the
driving that
vehicle-
thing.
Yeah, the vehicle doesn't have a gunner. The gunner's unconscious, so it's not even. There is no advantage for it.
Ugh.
Right, I tell you what, right? I'll make a bet with you right now. I'll make a deal with you. If
Right.
Independent win this round, okay,
Yeah.
before the end of the stream, I will get the cowboy hat out.
We'll get the cowboy hat out. Right, and then what would he do if they don't win it?
If they don't win it, then
So you saying if they win it before the end of the stream, you'll bring the cowboy out, and that's what you're promising, all right?
if Independent win this round,
Yeah.
I will physically go get the cowboy hat, and I will sit the rest of the stream with the cowboy hat on.
So Foyker's been taken out. He's running away naked. Poor guy.
Crawling
But
away.
at least I think he may have been a distracting force, possibly. So people are looking more in his direction now. So, yay, brilliant. But they've already shot at these infantry here, so they know they're there already. So it's a bit. They did kill, not the sheep, the man here. So they killed the man. A big explosion.
He must have been having a bad time.
Looks like they decided to demolish an entire house, killing I don't know how many people. But they killed the Greenfall guy. So on the point here, their first cash point, still alive and no Greenfall in its vicinity. Looking elsewhere, yeah.
I have to agree with what Tobias Rudd has just put in the chat there. What a shit show. I've got to agree with him.
It's a fucking shit show. So now Greenfall are just back to where they started from, this group. Someone tried to loot and died. Wow, brilliant. They've gone back to where they slammed into, with 2 Blue 4 actually flanking their position and the 1 pinning them in their position currently. You've also got the helicopter still up, giving that important information. It's almost as if they're using the camera on it. But it looks like if these Blue 4 get close enough to actually hurt these guys in their vehicles, that'd be very good.
Oh, 2 guys on foot versus vehicles.
Yeah. Oh, they got away. So it looks like Greenfield. Look at this. See? 1 in there, 2 in there, 2 in there. That's what you do. You've made 3 targets moving instead of just 1 target with 5 people in it.
Tobias run with another great one there. Independent Forces Hilux Army.
Exactly. That's what you want. Get the Hilux army out. Like, imagine you had 8 Hiluxes all just slamming into the walls in this compound. How hard would that be to defend? So now you got this. Yeah, you got these other vehicles going around. 1 crashed. Okay, that's going well. You got another one.
Make that your new thing.
It's getting out, just leave it.
I'm happy for you to stop using devious and content for. That's going well.
So you got this one now finally slamming in. Please don't knock. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Oh my days.
You don't, like, if it's not a building, don't slam in it and knock down the only cover you have. Why? At least the driver's the one that killed himself there. You got Foika sneaking up. No, Foika! Foika! Come on, Foika, you got this. Oh, no. Oh, poor Foika.
And that's what happens when you go into battle in your underpants.
Well, you got everyone running up now. Oh, they're going to get spotted out. Everyone's distracted by what's going on over here.
They might be able to get off the first successful attack for Independent.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I doubt it.
They've killed one. They've killed one. But now the 50 cal's opening up.
50
Exactly.
over it. But he doesn't have the.
But hasn't got the gun depression to get down on threat elevation.
He can't actually hit them.
Yep. So I think the infantry got him, but they've traded 1 kill to that. So Eason's pushing up. Go on, Eason. Go on, you son. Go on, mate. Go on, sir.
Not gonna lie, the amount of times that, you know, obviously we all sit and team speak and chill out. The amount of times I've actually confused you and Eason Barton. You guys sound so similar.
Eason's the person I was commanding with the other day, so he's a frequent player in Friday Night Fighting. He often might take command role.
Oh,
very
yeah.
good, very good. Go on, Eason. Kill Swan, get another kill under his belt. Very nice.
That 50 though.
50's getting away. Looking on the map, how are we doing on the map? We got the slammers down here. So you got some of... Yeah, you got the... See, what they've done here is they've slammed into the side of this area. Or just gotten in close and now starting to clear this area out. Just killing another one from Blue Fort and actually finally clearing the area. So 1 came in here. This is the guy that got his vehicle stuck, I think. Yeah, that. And then it's up to them to see if... No, I don't know how you say that. Eason, let's see.
I'm hoping I don't have to go and find my cowboy hat.
So Eason's got, although they may be saying they've got nothing on this one, so I think you're pretty safe. You won't have to expose the cowboy hat out. So you got 1 going down, a trade there. It was a very good reaction by Naps. Back to Easton. Yeah, I think Easton is one of the last remaining 2 Greenfall guys.
Yeah. So it looks like.
What's going through his head, Flockton?
Shit the bed, is it bedtime yet? That's what it seems like with the independent side right now.
That's a really nice defense they set up, that going up.
It is. It's really well built.
Yeah. Hopefully Easton doesn't get on the roof and get spotted out by this Humvee. That'd be very unfortunate. But look at this, he's getting on top. So go.
Get on your belt buckle.
Get a little bit.
He spotted the guy to his right.
Look both ways. Oh, he sees him. Oh, he nearly fell off the fucking roof there.
Jesus.
And he ran out of ammo. Poor guy.
Oh,
Poor guy.
I hate to see it.
You could have gotten a lot of kills here, but it's all right. I still can't believe the guys just came in and knocked over their own wall and got themselves killed.
Like,
Last man standing, Nafs.
not for long.
Not for long. He's got 3 kills. It's good. Looks like he's getting out the AT stick to shoot up into the sky. It's not an AA launcher, mate. Come on. I saw that last round, and looks like Blue Thor's going to get the drop on him. They know he's here.
Yeah.
Buckets has just spotted him out as well. And he's also just been engaged. And he ran out of ammo as well. There we go. That looked to be the game. Independent eliminated. Blue Thor victory. That is defending team victory. Back to you, Morgan.
Thank you very much. That was a very chaotic round there to close off the evening. But I think there was still some bits of quality in there, almost all of them from the Blue Thor side, of course. But it was an interesting round. I don't really know how else to sum that one up. That was just interesting. It's pretty much the only word that can be used. We saw some fragments of how the map is meant to be played from the independents, grabbing the vehicles and just trying to get things done. But unfortunately, they just didn't grab enough of them. I don't think they even took half of the vehicles out.
Nah.
Yeah, if you've got that many vehicles, and you can just look at the map as well. It's all open fields. There's very little urban areas, so you know that you cannot move up slowly at all. If you move up slowly, you'll just be picked off. So you need to get in there fast and aggressive, as we talk about quite a lot. You've got to be in there, got to get things done, and then move on to the next one very quickly before you're caught out.
Again, it's that momentum thing.
Momentum. There it is again. It's something that wasn't present in quite a lot of the rounds here today.
It hasn't been for the past few weeks, and especially the 4IB guys that are on there that have obviously sat our GNCOs, our SCBCs. These guys need to be deploying the tactics we have within their section to then, yes, fair enough, we play in a PvE environment. However, these tactics can work in a PvP. They need to deploy them. Yes, easier said than done when you're in a firefight and you've got, a BTR firing at you, 50 cal firing at you. But if they just thought for a second and just put what they've been taught on the GNCOs and the SCBCs, the fourth could do a lot of damage. A lot.
Yeah, I have to agree. And I'm sure the other units out there as well, they probably have similar courses or similar trainings of some sort. And they must also have similar ideas behind them. But at the end of the day, they're playing for what they are, and maybe some people who were in some of the higher positions, maybe it was their first time in such a position, and they weren't super confident with their cause, or as just happens when you have a plan and then you move into battle, things just change so quickly that your plan just can't keep up anymore. And
yeah, I agree with that.
Not really much that can be done, unfortunately, but everyone definitely was trying to the very end, which was always good to see. And there were definitely good plays made all over the place on all 3 rounds. So very well done to everyone who participated. So then, before we do go, let's have a quick summary of the 3 rounds today. So we'll start with Barton to go through round 1.
Round 1, it was a destroy mission. It was mainly urban fighting. We saw an attack plan and a defense plan. Attack plan wasn't really well suited for what the defenders made. The defense plan was absolutely perfect for what the situation was. Minor mistakes by players, but generally the defense made so that Op4, the defending team, had a very comfortable win. The attack plan was very... it had some certain things that weren't as good as other things. We were talking a lot about how to use vehicles properly. The trade-offs with their position. And all in all, it just amounted a lot of mistakes being made both on the front lines. There was a series of mistakes that led to a disaster. And it was pretty much they rushed in, got bogged down, and got just torn apart with a comfortable win for the defending team.
Yeah, and I like how you brought up there about the use of vehicles. Something we saw in all three rounds today were people who were trying to be quiet and sneaky, bringing up a vehicle with a big, loud engine. Just why not? Which hopefully people will recognise that error and get that sorted for the next time because yeah, so many times people are trying to sneak around and then, like you called it in the third one, on cue, the big loud vehicle just showing up to join in with the
Oh,
quiet crew trying to sneak around and get something done.
Oh,
And then, so round two, Flockton, do you want to break that one down?
yeah. Round two was Rush. Um, it was going very well for the Op 4 side for a long time during that. So much to the point where, you know, um, you are sorry, Blue 4.
yeah.
It was Blue
Yep.
4 side. It was going very well for Blue 4. So much to the point where you were ready to call it. And we realised that Op 4 was still in on it. And they literally fought to the very, very end. 4 versus 3. It could have went either way. And Blue 4 fought very well and they got the victory. We had Fiker as a zombie. That's a bonus. And we had a guy literally shooting for the moon.
Yeah, that rocket was a brave attempt to try and get some artillery down, but the attempt was there. The execution, like I said before, not quite on the same level as the idea. The idea, though, flawless. Um, and then finally for the third round, Barton closed it off for us. What happened in that one?
Third round, we saw perfect example of PvE tactics using the PvP setting. We also saw a mixture of hesitation. You saw some people being very careful with their movements, and other people just dropping sections off to die. So you just saw that just inconsistency. They really didn't do well. You need that recce. You need to understand where they're building because there was no excuse for that drop off because you saw a Bluefall vehicle there moving in that position. So you knew there would be a garrison force there. It's not safe to drop them in that situation, yet they still did. So there's no excuse for that. So they lost quite a lot of their numbers advantage just from that bad drop. Further to that, they went along the predictable attack venues and got caught out by booby traps. That sometimes can't be helped. But if you try to outthink your enemies, like, hey, they've got general competence. They know what they're doing. They're obviously going to know we're going to take that venue. So let's try to adapt around that. It's just they need to understand what the map creator was intending because the map creator makes it so that if you play in a certain way, you have a perfect balance between the teams. And there was an obvious reason why there was multiple lines of vehicles for independent to use. And we saw near the end, once they started to put one or two men inside a vehicle, right, they took positions and they got on two positions to actually fight without taking many cuts. Obviously, one of them knocked down the wall. That was the only cover that they got, and then got killed. And then the other ones were actually somewhat successful, other than one of them beaching themselves on a wall they couldn't drive over. But all in all, you can see this. You can see the logic is giving you those for a reason. You need to use them. So as Flockton's saying, there's some PvE tactics that can be used in a PvP setting, which are good, mainly the momentum and that stuff. But what we're doing, or what I see people doing, is that we're bringing the wrong tactics from PvE and thinking that they still apply for PvP, falsely believing that they can still be applied, i.e. convoys, i.e. these things. We saw from tonight, every time there was a convoy, they either crash into the same thing, or they just get bunched up when they dismount. You see the problem?
Yep.
So all in all, they need to use what they're given, including, remember Bluefall, didn't he use the second helicopter with a camera? They didn't even use the camera. No one was in the co-pilot seat. So no one can actually access the camera. So it's like, you see, nothing really works. They need to understand what you have and work with it. And that would have helped them in round 3.
Yeah, I massively agree. Making the best use of the situation and the tools that you have. Not every plan, you have a plan. It might be good depending on the equipment that you have available to you, you need to be able to adapt that plan to what you have and what the terrain and the objective is essentially. Um, but at least on the third round, the blue four, the defensive guys, they knew their plan perfectly. They knew exactly what they needed to do, and yeah, held on to that. It's excited. The defenders won every round today. Is that right? They won the first round, won the
Yep,
second
every
round, and yeah, won the third round.
Yeah,
Every
that's
round
right.
went to the defenders. So defensive tactics definitely on point from everybody involved today. So well done to everyone who took part. And thank you very much for providing us with lots of entertainment over the last couple of hours. Definitely do appreciate that. Thank you very much to the Friday Night Fights team and community for setting up this whole Friday Night Fights situation. Massively appreciated, and thank you for giving us the permission to bring on this amazing show. Thank you very much to Barton, as always, for being a fantastic co-host and commentator. Thank you very much, Flockton, for joining in as commentary as well. Massively appreciated. Anything from either of you two before we close off?
Independence got their poo pushed in. That's all I can say. Like,
Our content tonight. That's all I'm
what
saying.
has been going on tonight? You know? But, anyways, enough of that from me.
Yeah, so from all of us here then at Fourth IB's Twitch TV channel, thank you very much for joining, and hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time for the next one. Bye-bye.